Decentralize. Decentralize. Got to realize. Don't decarbonize. Decentralize. 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 Open your eyes.
All right, welcome to today's episode here on Decentralized TV. And folks, we have an amazing show for you here because we have an amazing guest with amazing topics and some demonstrations here in studio. We have Hakeem Anwar here from Above Phone, which is one of our partner providers of de-Googled phones and now kick-ass laptops also that we're going to demonstrate today. But welcome to the show, Hakeem. It's great to have you here. And let me also welcome Todd Pittner, who joins us remotely. And here we are all together. It's going to be awesome.
It's so good to be back. I wish the craziness would slow down, but it's not. You know, it's accelerating. So I came in today with that energy. I'm just fired up to talk about solutions.
Okay, well, and yet you also brought a massive presentation of some of the problems because you have this AI data center ecology report. The last time we talked, you were talking about this map of AI data centers and the water usage and so on. That issue has become so much, I mean, that issue has exploded in the consciousness of the American people. Feels like we're being overwhelmed with data centers. Do you want to start with this report or where do you want to jump in here?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll set the stage because you've been doing some really great reporting on the energy crisis. And, you know, you would hope that the energy crisis, we could live through it. Because it's like, all right, you could run out of gasoline. Gasoline could get very expensive. You could not have oil for your car. And you'd be like, okay, fine, I'll just stay at home and I'll live off the land. But now we have this other crisis that's coming, I would say 3 to 5 years from now, where our water table is going to drop so low, wells will go dry. And this
is happening in Central Texas. I talked to a well driller.
Yeah.
They said the wells have dropped, what do they say? 10 feet a year in some places.
10 feet a year.
Yeah.
And that's common. That's actually low for the country's average. Whoa. And yeah, I mean, once it drops low enough, there's no way to restore it. It takes hundreds of years to restore our aquifers. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not a blue-haired ecological like activist, but this is just being real. Our water is life. It's the key to all life. And now it's actually being threatened. And so this fits into the energy crisis because it's one way, if you don't drive, if you don't need to drive, then you can just stay in the 15-minute cities. But also, if you're going to just stay at home, the only reason that you might come out to a 15-minute city is if you don't have water. So this is another play for soft power that we're going to see in the years to come. Already in Colorado, they're installing smart water meters, which are going to monitor your water usage on 15-minute increments. And there's already water meters being designed. I'm studying this that have a shutoff valve on them. So once you exceed your cap, they can throttle your usage.
Oh, man.
It's gnarly stuff.
So they're going to control your water, your electricity, your food supply. You know, your probably diesel will be rationed. Hey, Todd, what a great future to look forward to here.
All I'm glad is that I have a food forest with 1,200 gallons of water catchment containers that I can at least drink from if I need to. Jeez.
Yeah, you were saying, Todd, in our last interview that even in Florida, you're seeing the water's running out. The little small local lakes are dry.
Our little local lakes are just gone. It makes me so sad. And I started to think, you know, we've had rain. I mean, it's not like we're going through this 4-year drought. So the only way that I can square the circle is wondering if it's already begun. I mean, are they already tapping into our aquifer here? I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention, too, before we continue, Hakeem, so we've partnered with your company for many, many years, and we have thousands of satisfied customers of your de-Googled phones and your laptops. This is a brand new laptop from your company that you just brought. So I'm seeing it for the first time, but I want to give out your website. It's abovephone.com. And is there a landing page where people go?
Yes, especially for your community, abovephone.com/Brightian. And that's the exact computer that Mike is running right now, which, by the way, it took us 6 months to get his computer ready because it's so cutting edge. We wanted to be outfitted with local AI. So it looks a bit like a rocket ship. And then I saw he installed Linux Mint, and I was like, Mike, we're gonna have to upgrade you. So
Oh yeah, you don't like Linux Mint?
I mean, it's great to start with if you're just shifting from Windows, but you're
Yeah.
so next level, you know.
I use it for just common workloads, Linux Mint. It's just super easy. But you have the above Linux, which is a variation of Arch.
Yes, above OS, it's a built on Arch Linux, and Arch Linux is very special because it's the only distribution that allows anyone to package software and share with everyone else.
Oh wow.
It's the truly free distribution. Normally, you're going through a centralized software provider, but anyone can package software. The other thing too is that there's updates all the time, so the software is constantly getting better. If you've ever used Linux before, you know you've heard of long-term release, long-term cycle, and that means you have to completely reinstall your computer every 2 years. Not with this one; you just keep it updated.
Wow. Okay. So again, it's abovephone.com/Brighteon, Brighteon, in case someone doesn't know how to spell that. And then if you want to access any of these products, that's the way you can do that. But anyway, this is not a product focused interview. We're talking about data centers here today. It's just that you brought this laptop, so I have to talk about it a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Dude, that's fair. And I mean, the devices do fit into it because right now you can say you're sitting here and telling me, hey, I don't want data centers. I don't want these things to spread. And I built a map showing you the 800 or so hyperscalers planned in this country. But guess what? If you're using your normal Android, Google phone, or your Apple iPhone, there's already AI layers on top of that. Gemini is already running in the background. Apple Intelligence is already scanning your photos. You never consented to that. It showed up on your phone one day. And now, indirectly, you're justifying the build out of these data centers. So using these devices is actually a principal choice. And it's my mission to make it as easy as possible. It can seem a little bit nerve-wracking at first, but we're already to the point where we're better than big tech. And I know that in my heart.
All right, so we're going to put your laptop to the test because this has the, what is it, the 4080 GPU on it?
The 5080 GPU.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, you can't buy that from our site. We just made that one specially for Mike. But there is
Wow.
the one I'm using right now. That is the one. So these are the Quantum series.
Okay.
And they have a built-in graphics processing unit so you can do local AI workloads. You can do image generation, all sorts of stuff.
Wow. Okay. So I am downloading, I'm running LM Studio, and I think can you show my screen? I think I have it connected. So we're going to put that to the test here, Hakeem. Now I'm running LM Studio, and yeah, you're showing my screen. I'm downloading the Quen 3.6 9B Heretic Uncensored Sweet Thinking Madness Q4 GGUF, which sounds perfect. And if this download completes, it's only 12%. But if it completes during our interview, we're going to ask it, what would Sarah Connor do to the data centers?
Perfect. Yeah.
to find out how uncensored it is.
If it's Sweet Thinking Madness, I imagine it's got a love story element into it.
Oh, you think so?
I think so.
Okay, maybe it's Sarah Connor's love-hate relationship with Skynet. Okay, we will find out. All right, anyway, that's going to be downloading in the background, but it's amazing that you can run local AI at that level. I mean, that high-powered GPU on a laptop like this.
And Mike, this has got your AI already loaded on it.
Okay.
Right, the BrightLearn AI, the last model we had access to. So that is already built in. So
wow.
If you're getting this from our site, you can just turn it on like Mike has, and the model's already loaded. And now you have an encrypted vault of all of the world's answers for survival information,
True.
natural health, and you don't need anything anymore. You just need solar to keep the laptop powered, and you're good.
Man, that is amazing. It's like the world's encyclopedic knowledge at your fingertips. It can't be taken away from you. Okay, so Todd, are you blown away?
I've been blown away all week. I have been deep diving into this report, so I have lots of questions. And if I could just kind of set the table for everybody about what they're going to learn, is you are going to learn why Zillow has just added a new filter. And their new filter is, of course, waterfront, pool, and the third one now is not within 5 miles of 300,000 NVIDIA chips.
No kidding.
Right?
Wow.
Yes.
Whoa, really? They have a data center filter?
No, I just made that up. But
No,
I
but
think
they should do that. That for
You
real,
got
they
me.
should do that.
I totally believed it, and they should do that because the truth of the matter is, if you have a house and one of these things gets built nearby, you're absolutely tanked.
Yeah.
You're tanked. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to have a few thousand construction workers show up to the site. There's going to be noise 24/7, and no one's going to want to buy your house after that.
Yeah, because they're just going to hear gas turbines running 24/7. So like you buy a house next to a farm and you think, oh, that farm field, that's awesome, great view. Then the farm gets bought by freaking Google or some Google holding company. And then the farm becomes this towering monolithic Skynet center that's screaming jet engines 24/7, right?
disgusting. Well, let's just begin here because I want to talk about the physical costs of AI expansion, Hakeem. You open your report with a simple observation, which is instead of AI being seen as just software, you argue it should be understood as physical infrastructure. Every AI request ultimately depends upon land, electricity, substations, transmission lines, cooling systems, groundwater, tax incentives, permitting, politics, and local communities. Hakeem, why is it important for us to fully comprehend the physical costs of aggressive AI expansion?
Yeah, I mean, it's insidious. You don't get to peek behind the magic curtain, but there's a lot going on there. And these are some of the most expensive projects. They are the most expensive infrastructure projects in the history of the entire world, right?
Wow.
Making these graphics chips requires, and I'm sure Mike has covered this at length, is using some of the most world's advanced technology. And they're spending tens of billions of dollars on even the smallest ones of these. So let me give you something that puts it in perspective. So back in 2024, if you looked at Google or Microsoft's global data center capacity, the full power capacity, how much power they used, was only at 4 gigawatts. Now that's enough to power 3.8 million homes. It sounds like a lot, but now we have data centers, a single data center, like for instance, Project Matador in the Texas Panhandle is requiring at least 7 gigawatts on its own. So think about that.
Wow.
One company is already outpacing the entire infrastructure globally of either Google or Microsoft or both of them combined, and they're doing this everywhere. So I do want to mention the map at this point. If you go to AIDataCenterMap.org and go to map, I feel like we have the most complete map available on the internet right now to track this, but you can go ahead and see the 400 hyperscale data centers that are already built that are drawing about 50 gigawatts of US power, which is something about 12%. And by 2030, another 400 hyperscalers will use 200 gigawatts of power. It's going to quadruple, and that's going to use about half of the United States power supply. Now, Trump and the big tech executives, they'll sit there and they'll say a pledge, hey, we pledge that we're going to pay for our own electricity. Yeah, I mean, you might pay for it, but we are also going to pay for the inflation, and it's going to price us out of our own utilities. We won't be able to afford living in homes. And that's exactly the type of soft power that will get you to move out of the country and move to a 15-minute city.
And that's the ultimate goal, isn't it? To push everybody into 15-minute cities through engineered scarcity of food, electricity, travel restrictions, fuel restrictions, smart meter monitoring of your electrical consumption.
It's fully comprehensive. And, like no one's going to force you with a pitchfork to get out there, but you'll be tempted if you're not making the right preparations.
So that's going to turn the United States into largely like one giant AI factory. They're just going to tile, all the farms with solar panels and data centers.
There is, I think by now, big tech is responsible for over half of renewable energy projects. They're just completely investing in them. And this map has gotten to the point where you can start to predict where these data centers are going to go because they need access to cheap power. There's a few states that can do that, like Texas. They also need access to the grid. So, Mike, I don't know if you have the map pulled up right now.
I do, yeah.
So you're seeing the current water stress, if you want to put that on screen, and all these black triangles here. Here are the hyperscalers. Now,
wait a minute. Okay, water stress. Yeah, I have that selected.
Okay, and so I want you to you can click water stress and you see a drop down and click on high voltage power lines.
Okay, high voltage power lines. Okay.
And we'll wait for that to load, and you basically get to see the electrical circulation system of the United States. And
Oh, whoa. There it is.
there it is. And
You guys seeing that?
if you zoom in close to these things, you'll find that these data centers do not stray far from these.
Whoa. Look at
high
Dallas
voltage
Fort
power
Worth.
lines.
So these are high voltage power lines. These are not roads.
That's right.
The red
They're-
lines.
Those are, 345 kilovolt and up high voltage lines. And if you click on an empty area on the map, this is the only map in the world right now that will estimate how many homes are displaced and how many gallons are used per day. We're the only ones who have come up with a transparent methodology. Academics they have general rough numbers, but they're not brave enough to give you a working model of how much power and water these things are using.
All right, so right here, I clicked in downtown Austin, roughly, and it's saying that 4.9 million gallons of water per day are displaced
Jeez.
because of data center usage. Is that what that means?
Yeah, it's a rough estimate. So that's every data center in a 50-mile radius. And what we do is we look at
Wow.
the power capacity. We assume that, hey, this thing's not going to be operating the whole time. It's not going to be operating at full power the whole time. And then we use something called water usage efficiency, which is how much water on average they'll use per unit of power.
And it also says 1.4 million homes. That's the amount of power the data centers are using is equivalent to 1.4 million homes in that radius?
In this rough estimate, which
Yeah.
the methodology is open, I want people to disagree with me. I've exchanged emails with academics who are researching this. They mostly are using this one paper called from Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, and this is the first formula we're putting out there where you can measure what's going on next to your house. So this is in the report at aidatacentermap.org. And there's also, if you click on another empty spot next to, let's see.
There's not that many empty spots left. The country is being taken over.
Check out, click close to that cluster of black triangles, the hyperscalers next to Dallas Fort Worth.
Okay.
And you'll see in that little info box something called the heat island effect. Have you heard of this?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
All right.
when you're living right next to one of these hyperscale data centers, it also raises the surrounding temperature. These AI cards, they're so advanced, they've got billions, hundreds of billions of transistors on them, and they're getting so hot. They're as hot as the surface of the sun. So they take this heat, they cool it down with water, that creates steam, hot air, and they blow it out right in the atmosphere. So studies have shown it's increasing the temperature of the surrounding area by up to 3.6 degrees for a single data center. Now, like all of these estimates are low because they were looking at smaller hyperscalers like way back in 2023 and 2024. So
Oh, here it is. Estimated heat island right here where I clicked is 1.9 degrees.
yeah, and if you so it's that small red circle in the middle. And so if you click in a cluster of black triangles, it caps it off at about 20 degrees. So that was the maximum.
Oh, here it is. 12 degrees.
12
this
degrees.
one. Yeah. Whoa, 16 degrees. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, I mean, what does that do to wildlife and water evaporation and, just local living? I mean, even if you're near that in your home, now you have to pay more energy costs for cooling?
Exactly. And they have the gall to tell us they're being green, right? Hey,
They're being green?
they're being green. And, we're the ones who are abusing the environment. Hey, we're watering our lawns too much. We're driving too much. And meanwhile, they have these giant rigs blowing out hot air. And yes, disturbing the wildlife. There's, it's not just the noise, it's also the heat. But this is also a public health crisis. The heat island effect combined with the pollution coming off of these diesel and natural gas turbines can cause strokes, it can cause severe respiratory conditions, it can cause dementia.
And you're talking about just the particulate pollution from diesel engines, for example.
The particulate pollution, the sulfates, the nitrates, all of this stuff. And right now, what people don't realize is the turbines aren't on very much. the turbines are backup power, right? So maybe they're on for 30 minutes a day. What happens when the grid starts to get unstable and they need to kick on 24/7?
Well, I know some data centers are running the turbines all the time as their primary source.
That's true. That's like Elon Musk's data center in Memphis, which they didn't have the air permits to run 30, 35.
Right, so they just did it anyway.
They just did it anyways. And the local health department, it did not do anything. In fact, it granted them an exemption because they said, hey, these turbines aren't going to be there for longer than a year. They don't need to permit them.
Wow, Todd. I mean, dude, we are being steamrolled like nationwide by this.
I was thinking in my mind, this also has another cause. It causes vigilantism. I mean,
we will ask Sarah Connor about this later on, hopefully.
This should just piss us all off to no degree. I mean, this is maddening. You know, Hakeem, I'd like to just ask a really simple freaking question.
Hit me, Tom.
You know, that relates to what is a data center. I mean, we've spent 20 years saying it's in the cloud, and you spent an entire chapter reminding us it's actually in somebody's neighborhood. Help us understand why AI data centers are fundamentally different from conventional cloud data centers, Hakeem.
Yeah, so it's these AI data centers that are the problem. I actually don't mind the traditional data centers. Our internet was running fine. We had Netflix, we had all these things on traditional data centers. They used a reasonable amount of power. It's these next generation AI data centers where you have a unit about the size of a commercial fridge, and inside there are 72 AI chips, and that one unit the size of a fridge is using the same amount of power as 1,000 homes. And there's like hundreds of these things in one building, right? So so they need all this power to train on perhaps on all the content that's coming out of social media and the internet, the flock cameras, quite potentially, everything that Palantir is plugged into. And so, yeah, I mean, there's not really a secret as to what's inside these things. It's more, the thing I can't figure out is what do they need all this compute for? Because not even China is getting close to using their total capacity.
Well, I think you already hit part of that answer is the training. So a relatively small part of this power is used for inference, for serving the customers. Much larger portions of the power consumption are used for model training, which is, of course, very compute intensive. But we also know that they're building, simulated worlds, and they're running lots of simulations. Some of those are sim worlds where they've got entities in there and they're using permutations and accelerated time to have AI entities live out lifetimes, and they're simulating human populations too. Mm-hmm. Like even the Pentagon just said to these AI companies, you have 3 weeks to simulate what would happen if we put out a draft.
I saw that.
Right?
Yes.
So that's a world simulation of human psychology inside an AI world. So you need a lot of compute to do that sim. But think about it. They're going to test, like what political candidate, what promises should the candidate make that will have the best impact on humans. So they have to simulate, 340 million Americans as part of their campaign process. So they're going to need a lot of compute.
Yeah. Because each one of those people, they're a unique individual, and now we have real data because we have handed it over to
through Google
companies.
and right.
Exactly.
So they're running psychological simulations, not just weather sims and weapons sims and quantum whatever, and aerospace simulators, but psychological simulators of masses of humans to try to control us and enslave us.
And this is the same thing they've been doing for a very long time. DARPA projects like Total Information Awareness, there's other ones I can talk about, but they've been obsessed with this idea. And now when the New York Times reported on those in the late 90s, they shuttered them, but it's just continued through a private way.
Wow, Todd, man.
It drives me crazy. And when we talk a lot about all of this with our guests, I always come back to when we say they a lot. And Hakeem, you've said they a ton of times already. And I'd like to talk about who's driving these data centers. So you note in your report that the current AI buildout isn't occurring because one company decided to expand. It's happening because virtually every major technology company believes it can't afford not to expand. So can you educate us on the competitive escalation fueled by huge capital commitments with basically which players feel like they can't afford to slow down? Hakeem.
Great question, Todd. It's all of them, thanks to these economic levers that have happened. So the same day where they made this ratepayer protection pledge, which was all the big AI companies coming together, Amazon, Google, Meta, they signed this pledge saying, hey, we are going to ensure your prices don't go up. That same day, Trump confirmed his commitment to the 100% bonus depreciation. Now, this is about taxes, and like this is really important to get because it explains why Elon Musk wanted to build this under a year. It explains why this happened so fast. If a company gets any type of capital extensive operation ready in 1 year, it's working, then they can deduct the entire cost of the build out from their taxable income. When you're talking about a $20 billion data center, you're taking that off from your taxable income. I mean, you've given them a full tax write-off. It's like an interest-free loan. So that is why every company and their mom are racing to build these data centers out. There's, Senator Elizabeth Warren's office estimated the last time we did this in 2022, tech companies cut $152 billion from their taxes.
Wow.
And so that's what bonus depreciation is, and Trump made that retroactive since 2025, and it's indefinite. Now this is just a thing. So no wonder.
So it's if you can go from blueprint to operation within roughly 1 year, you get amazing tax incentives. Is that what you're saying?
You get to write the whole thing off.
Well,
the whole thing.
that's interesting, but I've always thought the long drawn out depreciation was always a ripoff. We should always, as a business owner myself, I think we should all be able to write off what we have to spend now to build things. Like when I built this building, right?
Yeah.
And according to the IRS, I can't even write it off in 1 year. All the concrete, $500,000 of concrete here, right? Mm-hmm. Why should I have to push that out 20 or 30 years, right? So, but what you're saying is that they're only selectively applying this to these tech projects, while everybody else, like me, we end up paying following the long drawn out depreciation schedule.
I'm not giving tax advice, but as far as I understand it, this should be for everyone in America.
Oh, really? Well, maybe I have to ask my accountant because we spend a lot of money on these buildings.
Guys, I just saved Mike like a ton of money.
Well, maybe they are. I mean,
maybe.
I don't know. I don't keep up with this stuff.
We got to look into it, right? But they're definitely playing the loopholes. Like all the big industries, pharma, oil, big tech, they're saving hundreds of billions of dollars.
While then accelerating this massive build out that takes away infrastructure from humans. So
That's right.
I've always said data centers and humans, I've said this for a couple of years. There are at least three critical resources that they both need. One of those is electricity. One of those is water. One of those is land. And it seems like humans are being marginalized on all three now. Like here in Texas, the number of data center projects that want to connect to the Texas grid would require Texas to triple its electrical output by the year 2032, I think. Like that's impossible. Never going to happen by then. So what are they going to do? Turn off neighborhoods?
They already started to do that, as I'm sure you saw. I think it was in Nevada.
Yeah, you're right.
And that was a municipal decision or utility decision. But yeah, there's all these dynamics happening behind the scenes from the people that organize the production in this country. And, you could look at, like, I made this report to try and shine some transparency because we have no idea, how our societies are built. And it turns out you can look at data centers to see what tricks they've used, the legal tricks, how they go about doing this, the grid interconnection process. And so there's a lot of resources. There's a whole section.
Where can people get this report?
AIdatacentermap.org.
Oh, it's there on the site. Okay.
It is. Yeah, there's on the homepage, there's a button, and you can read the report right there. You'll get the PDF. It's about 250 pages.
My goodness.
And I didn't write, I wrote it all by hand. So I've had my
What?
life for, the past.
You didn't use any AI to write any of this.
I didn't use any AI to write any of it. And
But surely you use AI to help research it.
parts of it. And there's a as a part of responsible AI use, there's a thing in the appendix where I say where exactly I used AI.
Okay. Because I would definitely see you and I and Todd, like all of us on this show, we still use AI. We're not Luddites, but we use it for positive things and we use it responsibly.
I'm totally with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. And I think for me, I did use it to help me research and it was helpful, but I wouldn't be able to rap about it like I have and go down these rabbit holes because AI, it knows the answers, but it doesn't know what to look for.
Well,
It's true.
Go ahead, Todd.
No, I was just agreeing with you. It's exactly right.
Well, I was going to say that, the relatively new model, Kimi K3 out of China,
Pretty impressive.
is an amazing research model. I've been able to use it to do research on vaccine damage, on the pharmaceutical problems. I mean, whereas these US frontier models, they would always lecture me and refuse the prompts. Oh, we can't say that. Like, vaccines aren't harmful. But the Chinese models are like, yeah, whatever you want. We'll find the science, and the science is there to back it up. And I'm thinking that, we interviewed Zach Voorhees earlier today because we have a segment on this show called the Zach Adams Effect. And Zach is convinced, and I think he's right, that the public models that are available in the US are going to be super nerfed, dumbed down models, totally controlled by government narratives, just pushing the same garbage that you get from mainstream media. But the high-end models will be reserved for the military and government use and weapons development, and let the DoD make even more effective self-replicating vaccine biotoxins, which of course they'll use it for that because that's what they do. But we, the people, won't have jack in terms of cognition unless you use Chinese models.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree with you. I think that we're in this golden era where, the cloud AI is fairly good, but don't count on that forever.
Right.
This is how they sucker you in. You remember how great the internet used to be? How great YouTube used to be and how they never bothered you with ads or anything like that or surveillance?
Yeah.
That is going to change extremely fast. And I think that for anyone using cloud AI, you should know they're going to ask for your ID before this year is up. They want to know exactly who is using the AI. And I'm in total agreement with you, Mike. I think that China has already figured that out thanks to a lot of economic bullying from the U.S., preventing the sale of ultraviolet lithography machines that, China couldn't build their own chips, so they had to innovate. And so it's exciting to see AI democratized. And so that, that's just another reason. If you aren't running your AI locally, you don't really have control of it, and it could be used against you.
Yeah, totally.
Can you get Kimi K3 on your above books locally?
It's giant, right? It's like what, a few hundred gigabytes?
Yeah, you can't run it locally.
Okay.
There's a 1-bit version from Unsloth that is available to run on some 1-bit version. It retains 76% accuracy. People are coding with it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Can you imagine? And they're getting 36 tokens a second output on some MacBook Pros with some additional SSDs.
Mm-hmm.
And they're offloading certain layers, I think. But they're getting 36 tokens a second. But remember, that's a mixture of experts model. So you can offload a lot of layers. If you're just coding, you don't need all these other, experts in the model. But anyway, I don't mean to get nerdy, but AMD is going to change the game on this, I think, because they're rolling out much larger unified RAM systems that have, for example, 256 gigs of unified RAM built in with their boards.
Yeah.
And when that comes out, I'm going to string together a few of those. I'll be running Kimi K3 or GLM 5.5 or whatever. Quinn's coming out with new stuff. I'm going to grab that stuff as fast as I can.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to sell like hotcakes. Maybe we should collaborate on a AI server that's ready to go out of the box, so people don't need to do anything.
Man, the market I would be a buyer of that because I can't find anybody selling, even the AMD platform like Strix Halo. There's almost nobody.
Such an old, I mean, that's so amazing.
I know, but it's almost nobody's selling a system that uses what's available now that's got, language models loaded onto it and an operating system. I mean, seriously, Hakeem, and you've already thought of this, I'm sure, but your company, if you could just offer like a Linux-based system that just out of the box, it's got all these models built in and it just works.
Yeah.
And it, obviously it's not Windows because otherwise nobody would want it. That thing would sell like hotcakes if you could get it, if you could get the hardware.
Let's do it. If you're watching this and you're interested, let us know. Let us know in the chat. And I mean, we'll start trying to figure this out right away. I mean, maybe these AMD chips are the way to go, or maybe we need to create custom systems. But I mean, it's one of those things. They're going to be pretty expensive. People might need to pool their money together to purchase one of these things, but I think it's worth it.
And you could preload it with all the uncensored models. Right. Including our model plus, excuse me, other heretic models. And it could just be ready to go out of the box. But importantly, and you and I have had this discussion offline, we could provide a corpus of reference material that could be incorporated like a RAG layer into the model's answers.
And it could be updated in real time. It
could be. Could be, absolutely. Yeah. So imagine the power of that. So it's not just an AI model, it's this massive amount of supporting information that can be referenced. Because I still have, my data center is still running cleaning, like OCR cleaning and normalization operations on millions, tens of millions of science papers and books and articles and everything. And it's really interesting that a recent court decision involving Anthropic ruled that training models on copyrighted books is fair use.
Isn't
that wild?
Nuts. I mean, I guess that works in our favor, though.
In our case, it works in our favor. But Anthropic had to pay a $1.5 billion settlement, not for training on people's books, but for keeping copies of the books after training. So what the courts ruled is that you can pirate the books from Anna's archive or wherever. You can pirate the books, train your model, delete the books, you're all in the clear.
Scot-free.
Wow. Like, that's all legal. I mean, what a landscape, right?
We're going to have to do it, right? I mean, people are already talking about the story where now there's book databases where they do exactly that.
They do that.
They have copiers that consume the books and get rid of them once they're done.
Yeah.
And I mean, I always say this line from Sam Altman, but they're consuming the world's knowledge and then they're going to rent it to us. So they
after they modify it.
Exactly. After they modify it, change it, monetize it. This is the end game. This is the end game. It really, it touches every single piece. And that's why I think this is such an important issue. And on that note of like, how do we contribute our knowledge? Because there's a lot of smart people out there doing things. And so I'm trying to lean more into how can we use people power? There's somewhere deep in my heart that knows that our higher self is stronger than any AI supercomputer. And like this is a power that's waiting to be tapped in. So what we did was we created a contribution system on the map. You can see it on our site. There's a page for contributions. And it's like, I can't keep on top of all these data centers. And they're not going to tell us that they're coming. So wherever you're at in the world, we need you to step up and keep a lookout and warn your neighbors. So you can actually go in there and add data to our map. And
oh, wow. Okay, I'm going to bring up your map again because I can't get these models to load right now in LM Studio, the heretic models. So I'm going to have to troubleshoot that a little bit later. Maybe I should just use a standard Quen for this.
We'll get it set up and
we'll make it work. But Sarah Connor's going to have to wait. I know she's been itching to speak here. The ghost of Sarah Connor. But back to your report, where do you think this is going in America with the surveillance overlay of all the flock cameras and the Axon cameras. It seems to me that while they're taking away all our resources, they're also going to lock us down, right, Todd? They're going to say, yeah, no water for you, no, or limited food, limited fuel, and if you violate it, we're going to catch you on camera, and then we're going to fine you or just take you away to a camp.
Flock Central.
A fun camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A flock you camp.
A flock you camp. Yeah, pretty much. What do you think?
I think that, I mean, it's inevitable. The surveillance state, it's being rolled out. The data fusion, it's showing its face. And there's been a lot of legal precedent up to this. There's been acts like the American Broadband Deployment Act, which makes any Wi-Fi antennas, which inside of this bill, it basically said, yeah, we'll put them on traffic lights. And this will be critical infrastructure that states and counties cannot reject on an environmental basis or a historical basis. So the legal precedent is there for them to roll out flock cameras on every city corner in the entire country. And when that happens, you cannot escape. So, there's a lot of pushback right now to the flock cameras being built, and I think that is an evolving situation. But we're going to get to a spot where all of the cameras are feeding into one system. That system might be a Palantir system. And I think that you can learn a lot from China, too, to see how they did it, which China has 700 million CCTV cameras. In the big cities, that's about one camera for every 1.6 people. And their system is not even real time. It's not tracking everyone at once. So that can make us feel a little bit better about things. But they pick a target, like let's say, Mike, you're traveling there. Like, I want to know what Mike's up to. Then it can follow Mike around wherever he goes.
Right.
So there's specific targets. But I think maybe one of the reasons why we are building several orders of magnitude more is we want a real-time system that can track anyone.
Man, just imagine how that's going to be abused, because even right now, so many police officers are getting fired for stalking a romantic interest. Like, hey, let's just track that hot chick and pull her over and see if we can she'll go on a date with me, because that's not creepy at all to do. But cops are doing that because they can just log in and track anybody for any reason without a warrant.
Yeah.
It's a total abuse of power. And I know the deflock guys, some of them personally, and they've talked about how some of these cameras are just open to the internet. Default admin password, you can log in and see what's going on, that type of thing.
Wow.
So, and the other thing is you can share them at any federal agency. Like, these cameras in most counties are already connected to the federal level.
Oh, yeah.
And
what could possibly go wrong, guys?
It's too much power. It's too much power. And I feel like, guys, I'm like searching. I'm praying every day. I'm looking in my heart, and I'm like, why would God make an unfair world like this? I'm trying to figure it out. What's the balance to this? What do you guys think?
Well, God didn't do this part. It's the opposite. I mean, if anything, more obstacles are being thrown in our way.
I think there was another character in the book.
Yeah, I think you're right. Was it Fauci? Was it Fauci?
Yeah, I plead the fifth. Hey, I want to go back to something near and dear to my heart, which is my little backyard lakes in my neighborhood. I used to think the cloud floated above us, Hakeem. Now I just picture AI sitting in Oklahoma drinking an entire lake. And most people have heard that AI uses a lot of electricity. Far fewer realize it also consumes significant amounts of water. Why do you think the water conversation has remained largely invisible?
Well, I think one of the big reasons is no one knows how much water is in the aquifers. Not even the organizations that are meant to manage it. We have different proxies to kind of tell, like the upwards water pressure. But one, we don't really know. And then there's a few states in the United States which have water rights. And water rights is a really interesting thing. Who owns the water under your house? In Texas, you own the water under your house. If you can pump it up, if you can pump it up to your house, you own it. So it's legal in Texas for a data center to pump up billions of gallons, maybe over the course of a year, drain everyone else's water,
Yep.
and walk away with it. That's completely legal. And
true.
not that I'm calling for more regulation on that. It's just that something needs to be done. And data centers, what I found by looking in their sustainability reports, they're not even measuring. They don't have water meters. They're using estimates. You can look in Google's, Microsoft, Meta's report, and you look in the fine print, and they say, hey, when we didn't have measurements, we used estimates.
Hey, Hakeem, walk us through how an AI data center actually uses water. I mean, where does the water go?
Yeah, there's many different, there's like 13 different types of cooling systems. The one that I know is used at the professional level is the direct to chip cooling. So they'll mix like a lot of water with something like propylene glycol, and they'll use that as a coolant. So that gets pumped into the server. It's on this heat transfer unit. The chip, which is as hot as the sun, transfers the heat into it, and they take it out, and they cool it down. Sometimes they have cooler towers. Sometimes they blow it into the atmosphere. But that's the cycle. Now they have closed loop systems, which Mike, you probably know this, but my question is, you can tell me you have a closed loop system, but measure your water. Prove it. Prove how much water you're actually using.
Yeah, even a closed loop system, they still have to regenerate some of the water some of the time, because the closed loop system over time will become contaminated and clogged. Like, you have to flush out your car's radiator.
Yeah.
You know, radiator is a closed loop system, coolant. But that coolant doesn't last forever, right?
Right.
It gets all, and especially the pH of the water that you put in your system really matters, because if it's more acidic, then it's going to be stripping out ions of metal of whatever the piping is, that's copper, aluminum, you know, whatever. And there's a lot of metal in there. So then you get super high metal concentrations in the closed loop water. And then when they release that water back into the environment, it's got metals contamination in it.
Yep.
So even when they say, well, we just use the water and then we release it back. Yeah, contaminated.
Contaminated. Where's the safety studies? I mean, in San Marcos, that's exactly what they did. There's this data center, and they were planning to release the coolant back into the river, the Guadalupe. And it's like, okay, where are the safety studies? Why do you think that's okay? And there's a recent story in one of Meta's data center, I forget where it was, but they introduced a extremely rare and toxic bacteria into the public drinking water and into the recycling plants, and they had to shut down for 2 months.
Yeah, I saw that story.
So, you know, it does feel like that they've allowed data centers to centralize their water resources, and we just cannot rely. We cannot rely on regulations to save us. The water development boards, dude, they can't even stop golf courses from abusing their water rights. How are they going to stop these billion-dollar data centers?
What would you say, though, just to play devil's advocate here for a moment, what would you say to those who say, but we have to compete with China in the race to superintelligence? So we have to, no matter what the cost, we can't lose this war. We have to just push all the humans aside and use all the water and all the power and everything. I mean, we all know where that goes eventually, but what would you say to that argument?
I would say that, for one, China isn't even using 80% of its data centers. 80% of them aren't being rented out. So it was a massive bubble that burst for them. And if we do want to be on this defense trajectory, well, I mean, you know, would you rather have war and cyber defense and computers and electronic systems, or would you rather drink water?
Well, but what they're saying is that if China reaches superintelligence first, then they will conquer the world with cyber domination, and we will be enslaved under Chinese rule. I'm like, well, gosh, what would they do? Install flock cameras everywhere to spy on us? You know, because here we are.
You know, I think there's something in you said, we have to unpack like how we get there. So, okay, China's going to release superintelligence. So the only way to stop that is for the U.S. to develop its superintelligence. And then Then do what with it? Well, embed it into every system. That's kind of what they're implying.
And to conquer China. I mean, that's the implied goal, is to conquer the world run by Trump, for God's sake.
Dude.
Like that sounds like a nightmare.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say something really short. It feels like a simulation. It's like, all right, hey, we created a vaccine to the Chinese super AI disease. Let's all take it and we'll be safe. It's like the same pattern.
Yeah, so that's crazy.
I would answer your question a little bit differently regarding China. I'd say the real AI race is not against China. It's against August in Arizona. Just think that one through. August in Texas.
In Arizona.
It's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter without water. No thanks.
And the thing is, you can't create water from nothing, right? Like you can print currency. You can't print H2O.
There's no Federal Reserve for H2O.
Yeah. And it's like, and that's probably the most insidious theory, which is not even in my report. I had a few different theories. One, which I think this is a really good theory. It's that extremely rich people are greedy and dumb and they're short-sighted and they need something to spend their money on. So it's a bubble that's going to burst. But this is also something to think about, how with data centers, now you have a programmable, tunable demand on our natural resources. So if you wanted prices to jump up 10%, just up the workload in these data centers. And slowly, I mean, this is the whole boiling a frog in a pot thing. It's not going to happen overnight, but they're going to bring up the heat, and then it's like one day you're going to wake up, man, my water bill was $600 this month. I can't keep my farm going. I guess I'm just going to go to the 15-minute city where, the grass is green and the girls are pretty.
And they have free Soylent Green.
And they have free Soylent Green.
Yeah.
We should make like an AI rendition of Paradise City, but we call it Data Center City.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that dystopian future that you were sketching out there, I think is very accurate. I believe that there is already a global mass extermination agenda underway, and the timing of all of this makes perfect sense. They need the humans out of the way because they need the resources for the artificial entities that are going to emerge out of these data centers. And then, Todd, think about, the human labor replaced with robots. That's obvious. A lot of human cognition replaced with AI, agentic systems, autonomous systems. We're probably not that far away from AI systems being able to replace any common office worker, like in a dental office or whatever.
That's already
and people say, well, AI is going to hallucinate. Have you worked with dental office workers before? They hallucinate all the time.
They're getting in the laughing gas over there.
Yeah, they are. Like whatever schedule they say they made, they didn't make that schedule. They made some other schedule. Like AI would be an improvement. But my point is, of course they're going to replace humans in every way possible. And of course they want to starve people out or kill people genetically or reduce fertility or have another pandemic or a war, a freaking nuclear war that they can blame on, China or Russia.
Whatever they can do to crush the human spirit. And I think you touched on something really important there is that there's going to be mass joblessness, and that could translate into mass homelessness. And that's a very dark place. But I also see this as an extreme potentiality where for the first time in history, we have hundreds of millions of people that are not running the rat race. What happens there? Two things can happen. Either they can pit us against each other and we're going to claw at each other's throats, or we can work together. In my heart of hearts, I think that that's where this is all heading. I think that God is forcing this to happen, getting us to realize what the earth is providing for us, this mother that keeps on giving, getting us to care, and then asking us to steward her. Because there's no other option. What are we going to do? Sit back and watch Netflix? This is getting us to care. It's that wake-up call we finally need. And that's what's exciting for me. That's what I'm going to push people to do.
Well, let's talk about that local action and community response. You talk about that in your report. Turns out that the future of artificial intelligence might be decided by whoever shows up at City Hall. Suppose a viewer discovers tomorrow that an AI data center has been proposed 5 miles from their home, let's say. Hakeem, what can can ordinary people actually do to stop this madness?
Yeah, Todd, it's really about showing up in force and showing your local officials, hey, you can't make deals for our water and power without us being involved and without us holding you accountable. And I use there's 6 different projects in the report that I use as examples, and none of them would advertise the zoning commission hearings that get the land industrial zoned, which is the only point in time where you can show up and let your voice be heard, and it's recorded publicly. And it's the only way you can stop a data center, really. And so they try to sneak in through that part. So people have to be really vigilant. Again, there's another 400 of these things that are going to be built till 2030, perhaps even more.
Wow.
And they're going to sneak in everywhere. So this is not a job for one person. You're going to have to pay attention to your county commissioner's court, your city council, read their minutes, heck, even throw them into Mike's local AI and get it to read it for you. But there's so much business going on. And so what San Marcos did is they caught it early on, and they brought out over 100 people to speak at the city council meeting. And they made that thing last until 3 a.m. And they got a denial.
Is there any way that we could use AI to have some crawlers that are out there that are going to all of our counties and doing the crawl and getting those minutes and then somehow bringing it back into your website to be able to,
Yes.
place in a calendar that show up here, show up there, this is happening here, just these red flags that go up? I mean, that seems to me, if we can use AI against AI manufacturing, that would be great.
That's a classic AI agentic workflow.
Yeah.
Right there. It sounds like something that you could do
Could
on
be
your
done.
site. I'm not trying to give you more work, but that's a great suggestion from Todd.
So I say yes. There's a lot of merit in that. It could do the work. It could do the work really fast. But isn't I think the point of it for me is to not delegate our responsibilities to something else, right? It's like, who is going to actually speak, the human that's going to go speak to city council? Who's going to tell their friends and family? Maybe the AI could help with the research, but I think that it's up to people. And if they, if I build this thing and they're like, Hakeem doesn't need my help, he's got the AI scraping the papers, then I think I've done everyone a disservice. It's like, we all need to stand up and show up.
But I think I'm being practical here.
Yeah.
It's not, I'm saying it's not going to happen because people are they're worried about their next Netflix series. And for me, the purpose of a show like ours is to connect with people out there who might have a nice big internal middle fingers, but I don't have the bandwidth to go out and go to my Tampa. And maybe that's bad. Maybe I should step up, but I know that I'm not going to. And so I'm just suggesting if it could be done, how would we do it? To where if I signed up on your site saying, yes, I want alerts, here's my zip code, here's where I live. If then I got an email alert that there's going to be some kind of town meeting, I would be there. I would go to my Facebook page of the community and let people know that we need to do this and link them to your site. So I don't know. I think there's a there.
I hear you on that. I totally hear you on that. And I know you're very busy, co-host of Decentralized TV. But I will say there's people in our community that need to take up this mantle. And maybe I will build an AI system, but it seems like a lot. There's 6,000 counties in the United States?
I don't know.
A few thousand counties.
But let me pivot this though. And I love what you said, Hakeem. The local people need to step up and take part of it because they're the ones who are going to be impacted. But if you go back to 1988, this was a year before the crash of the Japanese market, the Nikkei 89 crash, famous to this day. In 1988 and earlier, if you were in, let's say, Sydney, Australia, you thought that your entire country was being taken over by the Japanese. because there was so much money, so much valuation coming out of real estate in Tokyo that somebody could take a loan out on 10% of their property in Tokyo and they could buy a farm near Sydney, Australia. Like Sydney and Manly and that whole area of Australia was just getting bought up by Japanese. It felt like an invasion. Then the Nikkei crashed. Took, I think, 29 or 30 years for that to recover because it was such a devastating crash. The reason I mention that is because I believe even though AI technology is not in a bubble itself, the tech isn't. The tech continues to break through milestones. But the AI investment of infrastructure is clearly in a bubble. The Korean market bubble is already collapsing by the day, like 10% a day lately. We've had semiconductor stocks in the US like SanDisk is collapsing, Micron impacted, NVIDIA impacted. Isn't something similar going to happen here where there's a collapse of the overinvestment in the infrastructure? We're going to end up with empty data centers and abandoned GPUs laying on the floors in empty data centers. And eventually, like squatters are going to move in. It started out as a data center for superintelligence, ends up being, like free shelter for homeless. I mean, isn't that coming?
Quite probably. And it's like there's a lot of projects that are already failing, like the biggest supposed one in the country, Project Fermi. And I really hope it does fail.
I do too.
They've overbuilt it probably 20 times over. And maybe, and here's a thought in my mind too, maybe they just will get all, what do they call it? They'll get bailed out by the government or the military because, hey, it's capital. But it is a bubble. It's going to pop. There's no way consumers are paying for this. So where's
right? And nor are even businesses in America. You mentioned maybe there's going to be a bailout. Maybe you're right. But can you imagine what that's going to do to the 10-year treasury if the U.S. has to print trillions of dollars to bail out these failing data centers? Then the 10-year treasury rates, the yield's going to go over 5%. What's that going to do, right? I mean, there are consequences to big bailouts, multi-trillion-dollar bailouts. We are more fragile today than we were in the 2008 subprime bailout. Mm-hmm. Way more fragile. And I think that a lot of these data centers are going to end up being abandoned, which is great because then you and I, we can go in and bid, 5 cents on the dollar for racks of servers and GPUs. And they'll probably sell them to us.
That'll be a happy day.
Yeah.
Maybe in a few years, we'll pick them up. We'll go in. We'll be hanging them out like Halloween candy.
Yeah. Or like, come take them.
Just
get them out of our way. Like they won't even know what they are in some cases. Like you and I will show up like, oh, wow.
What do you think they're going to use the buildings for, though?
15-minute cities.
15-minute city. Yeah, exactly. That's it. Fun camps.
Dude, that's how they're gonna trap you. It's gonna be like, hey, free GPUs, and you're gonna walk in there and the doors gonna be like
it's like bait for nerds, right? It's like, no, we caught these geeks today. We're trying to scrap some GPUs. Yeah.
That would work.
Got them. Caught them by the short hairs of their chinny chin. Oh man. We are dystopian, aren't we? But I think we're realistic, Todd. Don't you think? I mean,
you know what? Honestly, guys, I'm just sitting here. My mind is boggled. I just rewind a year ago on Decentralized TV, right? I didn't know all this crap was going on. And so, Hakeem, thank you for all that you have done to be able to pull this together so that we can focus on it. It's amazing what you've done. And it really, I feel like mourning, like where the hell did our country go? And is this really real? I mean, 4,000 data centers that are drinking our aquifers dry. I mean, it's just very, very sad. And so, I'm not a doomer, but this makes me feel a little bit of doom and gloom, guys.
I feel that too. And, I say that I say that they keep setting the bar lower. It's really impressive, right? You're like, how can you be more cunning and dastardly? And they do it.
Right.
And
And you know what? This, just like all the COVID nonsense, they were planning that, a decade or more ago, right? Same with this. You don't get to where there are 4,000 of these data centers that are being built without planning being done, what? 20 years ago, 10 years ago, I don't know, but they're evil, these POSs.
I think that one of the reasons I love decentralized TV and all the content you guys are putting out here is it's about human ingenuity and using this technology, invert the pattern. So it's like they're basically challenging us. Hey, here's how evil we are. How good can you be? And one thing I always say, I brought up that balance question earlier, is like, hey, what balances out 5 or 6 companies worth billions of dollars or $1 trillion altogether? Well, it's going to be millions of small, tiny companies that are restoring the natural ways we're meant to live on this planet.
And that's a great segue to let me plug your company, by the way. Because that's what you do. And this laptop, and thank you for bringing this, I guess I would say you're a sponsor of the show because you're sort of donating this laptop to the show. So we're going to feature this, front and center for years to come.
Thank you.
But folks, if you want to get a laptop similar to this, although you can't get exactly all these specs, or you want to get a de-Googled phone, just go to abovephone.com/Brighteon. And is there a discount code they can use?
There is Brighteon 50 that they can use when checking out. And that'll be good from 2 weeks after we publish this interview. And things have gone really, really well. We've been expanding how well our ecosystem works. So now we actually have, it's a product service program. So now if your computer or phone breaks or it gets lost or gets stolen, we'll just replace it. So that's a subscription that you can get with us.
Okay.
Pretty cheap.
And as far as laptops go, they all have the above Linux installed, and they all come pre-installed with our AI model built in?
That's right. From the Brighteon page, those are ones that are dedicated. And it's the easiest Linux laptop and the coolest ones you ever use. We stole, that's not a good word. We're
distilled. You got to learn the new vocabulary of the AI era. Yeah, we distilled.
I feel like we have so many good t-shirt ideas from this. Distill it like you, no. Write it like you distilled it. Right? Another one?
Oh,
Distill it like you kill it.
I got one that I can't wait to share with you guys.
Let's cut this out from the actual interview. But
no, that's the best parts.
Yeah. I want to introduce to you guys what came to my mind.
No, distill it, then chill it. How about that? Distill it, then chill it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Todd.
Mugga.
What?
Mugga. Mugga. Let me set the table for you. Mugga. Okay. I mean, imagine explaining this interview to someone in 1998, right? And you'd say, so one day we'll build billion-dollar warehouses to answer questions people used to ask their uncle. Wow. So uncle, so make uncles great again.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Mugga. Okay.
I think there's something there to like the value of human life and how we're losing it. And I think we're here to rediscover it. And I think that there will be an equalizing force. I mean, I'm hoping for a coronal mass ejection.
Oh, really?
In a way.
The CME answer to all this.
It'll just wipe out the data centers, wipe out the surveillance infrastructure.
Yeah, but it'll also wipe out your laptop.
We'll have EMF bags.
That's true. We have another sponsor, the Satellite Phone Store. They have the laptop.
They've got
EMF
laptop bags.
They do. They have laptop.
So get a laptop bag from them and get a giant EMF sheet for your car. And I think we're a few years away from that. I'm not like hoping for it anytime soon, but I'm just saying, like, if there was an equalizer, it would be something like that.
So that could come from nature, the sun flare, right?
Yeah.
Or it could be a weapon, an EMP from North Korea or something, right? Or China or Russia with localized effects that only hit North America. I mean, wouldn't that be the ultimate military weapon? Like take out all the data centers of an entire region,
If they, hey, you know,
but
if
leave
they-
your own data centers functioning.
That's some interesting wargaming. Yeah.
That's
That's a new front.
that's game theory. But I think that's also mutually assured destruction because
I'll prefer the organic EMP for me, thanks.
organic, natural EMP, the CME. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I was saying, so yes, if if you're vibing with this information and you're preparing, Muga, yeah, nice, Todd. You're preparing for the years ahead. Get your compute in order.
What is that? What does that say?
MUGA.
Okay.
Muga.
Does it? Oh,
I'm starting a trend here. I just think yellow stickies and Muga.
Dude, I love it.
Make uncles great again. Okay. Sorry, guys. I digress.
all right. Well, look, we're almost out of time, believe it or not, for this interview.
Flew by.
I know. We've touched on a number of subjects here, but what do you think is most important that our audience take away from this?
That data center developers are acting like there are no laws, and they're moving past the regulation, and we need to start living with that same amount of freedom, and to stop supporting all of these abusive layers. So if your phone or laptop, I mean, this is just my domain. There's so many different domains, but if your phone or laptop is going to this company that is going to starve you, why would you continue to use it? Look at where all these things are headed. This is the end game. And to start preparing, everything that you do here is great knowledge for that. But now it's time for action. I think that I would say we need to get out, because I think the normies, I don't even like using that word because it's just a way to other them, and it creates walls between us. But I think people are ready for this message that we've been carrying on for years and years.
Yes.
The data center issue is a great unifier. It crosses party lines 100%. And demographics, philosophies.
Absolutely. It impacts us all.
Yeah.
And people are ready for it, and we need to go out into our communities and speak and share. And so I hope the report is a good resource for you to do that. And so actually in a few days on Saturday, which I don't know if this will be published by then, we're doing a worldwide data center day of action. And there's a map where you can go ahead and add your event. We're going to continue to do this. But on your own accord, I think you should be educating people in your area.
Oh, yeah.
Hold the book club, hold the discussion around this report, and let's start getting connected.
Print little yard signs and stick them in the ground, like
Here's an idea.
Data centers.
Here's an idea for everyone watching. Copy the URL and share this interview with everyone you know, and say, this is a really important 90 minutes for you to absorb, and then challenge them to do the same thing. I mean, let's create a brush fire, because this interview, you have done such an excellent job educating us, Hakeem, and that fact, plus your website, this report, my goodness, we kind of, all of us don't have an excuse now.
It's so cool, Hakeem. I mean, we've known each other for a number of years now, and we have both worked and developed so many new, tools and things over those years. I'm so proud of what you've done with this map and with this report and with the laptop and the technology. And I think that we should partner together to have like local freedom compute machines.
Love
Time.
Like really just have them preloaded with uncensored models, put heretic on them all. Not only is it uncensored models, but you can also uncensor another model with the heretic on this machine. It's really great.
Wow.
Well, thank you. And I think that I would love to work with you to develop these solutions and other solutions. It's like, this is just one layer. Let's figure out the tech. We have to secure that because how fast things are moving. But then there's other things. There's growing our food. There's also reclaiming our water. I would love to work. I think technology has gone so far that the secrets of the universe they're whispering to us. And now is the time. So I think combining our forces together, everyone we know, we can do this. We can get enough backing. And that's what I see for the future. I'm always going to be an optimist. I have to. That's like my belief. And that is what is going to carry us forward in this really dark time is faith.
Well, we should find a way for you to contact AMD, because what's also happened, I don't mean to get too technical here, but I think the CUDA stack that NVIDIA has had as a moat, that's been replicated in an open source version that runs on AMD now. And also, I think Unsloth has said they have a stack for AMD microprocessors now. I thought I saw them announcing that.
It's huge.
That's massive. So you could use these AMD chips for model training and so on. But the bottom line is, NVIDIA has basically said, we're just going to mostly sell to governments and data centers and kind of, forget the gamers and the people who don't have $100,000 to spend. AMD is going to be filling that market segment, which is weird because the CEO of AMD is the cousin of Jensen Huang.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not know
They're
that.
both like ethnic Taiwanese.
They're cousins.
They're cousins.
They're blood cousins.
They're actual blood cousins.
Oh my gosh.
She of AMD, bright, super bright, kicking ass with AMD, and Jensen Huang, also brilliant engineer.
Man, I wonder what their family dinners are like.
Yeah, I wonder, man.
They just eat a lot of chips.
Yeah, you're probably right. Chips and salsa, right? Okay.
It's one big club.
NVIDIA chips.
Yeah, it is one big club, and we're not in it.
Not in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, Hakeem, anything else you want to add here, or
check out the map. I've got a few things going for the map. AIDataCenterMap.org. There's also a webinar there on our website, learn.abovephone.com. So if you like listening along, I've done most of the report. We'll finish that soon.
Cool.
I would love to see contributions from you guys and see what the research process is, because I learn from every contribution, and I'm trying to keep the map updated every 2 weeks. So this is all about crowdsourced intelligence, people power. That's what it's all about. And if you haven't gone private yet, now is the time. Now is absolutely the time. We're talking.
Get local.
Get local.
Yeah.
Bring it local. We have these solutions that are already better than using a Mac computer or a Windows computer. They're not just alternatives. They're better. Now, the transition, it's just a new mental model, but we're there to help teach it, and it's so worth it. I cannot explain the peace of mind that people have knowing that they can talk privately, freely, share info about their family through these systems, and be at ease that they're not being watched. And that is going to be the luxury in this new age with data centers and mass surveillance. It's going to be privacy and the sacredness of our communications.
Well said.
Amen.
All right. Well, we'll stop it right there. And then, of course, for our audience, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the after party. Todd and I will. And Hakeem, I know you and I have some interesting things to discuss. So please don't leave the building like Elvis. Just hang out. We got some stuff to talk about.
Cool.
But folks, we'll be right back after this break with the after party discussion here on Decentralize.tv. So stay with us. If you'd like to help support us, check out all of the affiliate deals I put together for you at rangerdeals.com. And if you go there, you'll see I have I've done due diligence on all of these affiliates. There's really not that many, but we have partners like Battalion Metals, co-founded by Tucker Carlson, Nessa's organic CBDA hemp extract, above phone models that are de-Googled phones, Red Life, here's the peptide company, Limitless, Petmectin, and so much more, including the satellite phone store, VP.net. And for almost all of these, you can use discount code RANGER here, or sometimes it's something else like Brighteon50, but normally the discount code is RANGER, which will save you something on these deals. Now, we do earn a little bit off of these affiliate deals, but it's no additional cost to you, and it helps support our platform and our work for humanity, including our AI projects that offer free open source knowledge in multiple languages. You can check those out at brightlearn.ai, and brightanswers.ai. So thank you for supporting us. Check out rangerdeals.com anytime you want to save money on really high-end products and solutions that I personally endorse. I'm Mike Adams, the Health Ranger. Thanks for watching. All right, folks, welcome back. This is the after party. It'll be kind of abbreviated today because we put more time into talking with our guest, Hakeem, and it's well worth it. But Todd, what's your reaction here now that we've had this conversation with one of our favorite return guests? What are you thinking?
Not a reaction, but a prediction. I think this is going to go down as one of our most meaningful interviews that we have ever had. And I think it's going to be, I think it is going to create lots of action. That is my prediction, Mike.
Well, I like that prediction. I think that's accurate. And, in the spirit.
Hakeem is just great. I mean, it's, like if he was here, Mike, I would tell him how great he is to his face.
I got a surprise for you, Todd, because
what?
He's still here. He's right there. He is. He's right there. I invited Hakeem to hang out with us in the after party.
That's awesome.
Love
That's
it, you guys.
awesome.
I feel like I'm part of the secret club. Do I get like robes or anything? Or?
VIP treatment, man. It's
what
like a
I thought
backstage pass at a rock concert. Okay,
that's right. And what I thought was cool, Mike, while you went and took a restroom break, Hakeem already figured out how to download Kimmy K3 on all the above phones.
Boom. Done.
Right. Okay.
Just hacked it up really quick.
But I do love your tech, by the way. And this quantum laptop that you have donated to the show is so awesome. I'm going to name it Sarah Connor.
Dude, I love it.
so
That's
Sarah
great.
for short. So from now on, Todd, when I refer to Sarah said, that's going to be the AI model coming off this laptop. We're going to get the most radically uncensored heretic model possible. It's going to say crazy cool stuff.
That's awesome. Hey, Mike, for those people uninformed, why don't you explain the Sarah reference? Because there's probably a lot of people that don't get it.
What? People don't know who Sarah Connor is?
A lot of people may not. I just like to think about,
Her origin story is she was trying to blow up the data centers, right? She was basically a data center terrorist. That's
yeah. I mean, she's the mother of John Connor, right? Fighting the wars for humanity against the machines through the Terminator series, and in Terminator 2, she was in a psych ward because she was arrested and caught blowing up data centers to save humanity.
There you go. So this is all about saving humanity, everyone.
And she was also a badass in that movie who could do pull-ups and had her own M4 with laser sights and everything.
She was a great mom.
Yeah, pretty much the kind of mom that we all need,
Yeah.
Teach your son how to plant explosives and hack ATMs, Yeah, there you go. How to survive in the cyber world of Skynet.
Yeah, a little bit different from the traditional soccer mom, but she was great nonetheless. So
right. And she also said to everybody, "You're already dead," because nobody was listening to her as she was warning about what's coming. Does that sound familiar to any of us? Right? Because in many ways, we've been warning about these types of things for a long time.
Absolutely.
And it's only now actually that the world is waking up and saying, "Oh, holy shit, you might be right. This could be bad."
Yeah.
Right?
Feels like we're on the precipice of something big. And I mean, it's an honor to figure out the solutions.
I agree with you.
Show.
There are solutions.
Well, I agree with you. And that's what I love most, Mike, about our guests on this show is that they all come to the table thinking the same thing, right? How do we decentralize our lives? And we think in solutions, not problems. And that's what's cool. And Hakeem, the other thing that just I admire so much about you is, how do I reference it? You lead with your chin versus your handout, right? You actually do before you ask. And so when you ask about people contributing to the solution within your website with contributions, what's interesting to me is you didn't end that with contributions of money, but contributions of sweat equity to try to help you make it better, right?
Absolutely. That is the most powerful currency. And I think that is why so many people feel marginalized right now. Even this AI, this is a really interesting thought. I was having this. Why would you even decide to become a painter nowadays when an AI could make you an incredible picture? And I do think there's something to be said of wanting to conserve the human arts.
Oh yeah.
And I do value that, and I value that human contribution, and I think that people want to be of service. That's what I've learned. And so how can we how can we call each other to the highest calling, the most important thing we could do right now? That's what I'm interested in. I want all of us working together.
I want to preserve and share human knowledge, which is why I have the Bright Learn platform.
Right.
And I feel like it's kind of like a knowledge Noah's Ark project, right? We want to make sure that all of this is available free of charge to everybody. And one of the things I want to talk to you about, Hakeem, after the show is I want to find a way that we can pre-install like maybe 10,000 of the best books onto the laptops with your company.
I would love to do that.
Yeah, just like PDFs or whatever. So
cool.
I had a thought just now too. What if we open our doors to new books in your collection? People could send in their books to you. Have you thought about that?
You mean?
They would mail the books to you.
No. Well, but that platform only creates new books.
Creates new books.
Right.
Yeah.
Because that's how we avoid, piracy accusations. All the books are original. Mm-hmm. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
And the generation and the distillation is like an amazing, and it's on there. And I was just thinking, like, if the AI companies are just, consuming all of the raw paperback books, we talked about how earlier it's legal to use them.
Yeah.
You could literally take a book, scan it, train your AI on it, and send it back.
Well, what's funny is I updated all the metadata on the published static pages for the books to encourage AI crawlers. And since that happened, AI crawlers are crawling and scraping the crap out of brightlearn.ai, which means it's already training tomorrow's AI models.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Your books are being cited.
The books are being cited, or distilled, right? Distilled, which I'm totally okay with. That's the whole point. And those books all reference, our knowledge base and the philosophy that we have, the things that we believe in. So that's actually achieving. I love the AI crawlers. Come in, soak up all this knowledge, and then put it into your models. So it's actually working. So
we will get all of those books, 10,000 books. Maybe we'll have like a rotating catalog for people.
Yeah, well, there's 70,000 books plus now. We'll hit 100,000 before the end of the year easily. But we'll talk about that offline. Todd's got to go pretty soon. So Todd, tell us about the UNA. We'll bring up the website because it's a key part of the decentralization strategy here.
Yeah, it is. It is. When I came to you, when we first started this, Mike, I had my UNA, Unincorporated Nonprofit Association. You can learn more about it at my575e.com, and I encourage you to do that. But I brought it to you. You didn't know anything about it, but you did your research, and you even hired a tax attorney out of California because California established UNAs are mission critical here. But since talking about it, and the reason why you entertained allowing me to speak about it is because I approached it by saying, look, Mike, I can't imagine helping people decentralize their lives in any more meaningful way than helping them keep more of what they earn, protect what they have, and decrease their personal liability. And you said yes. I've been talking about it ever since. We have helped over 700 people acquire these UNAs. We have a private Telegram group of over 600 really, really smart people in that Telegram group. That's where all the support is. It's an amazing organic community. And, there's even a gentleman in studio with you, Mike, who was, I believe, an early adopter. Were you not, Hakeem?
Who could that be?
I was one of the first.
You were. You were.
And I'm so grateful I got that information early, and it was one of the easiest structures you could set up for yourself. So I have it for auxiliary business. I have a vehicle registered under my UNA, and
You bought your vehicle through there, didn't you? You were going to buy one anyway, and you self-funded your UNA and then bought it through the UNA. And I believe you were even so smart that you bought it from another state that you did, so you didn't have to pay even sales tax. Am I remembering that right?
that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been a gift, right? Because you could spend a very long time finagling with an LLC and then having to deal with
Right.
all the requirements that come with an LLC, and this is just like turnkey. So
Yeah.
it's made my life so much easier.
Thank you for that. And I really remember that and appreciate you for being an early adopter. And this is just something that if you're a W-2 earner, a 1099 earner, or even if, we're getting a lot of folks, Mike and Hakeem, who have really complicated, more sophisticated needs. And we have a team now, a white gloves concierge type team who assesses these, and they are amazing. They are doing amazing things. So the long story tolerable, everyone. You've heard me talking about it before, but you just want to go to my575e.com, hit let's go, enter your name, email address, and then you can watch the 90-minute interview of Dennis Gray. He's a subject matter expert, 83 years old. He's been helping people for 40 years. I've been helping people for I've had mine for 8 years. And just get smarter with it. There is a PDF there that you can download that reviews the 32 positive attributes of operating a UNA. And if you have any questions after that, just book a private consultation with me if you have any questions. And I will answer every question, I promise.
Okay. Very good.
Impressive. It's really amazing to have seen it grow, and it happened quietly. And
And it
blowing up.
plays a critical role in our world today for asset protection.
Yeah.
So thank you for that, Todd. And I know you have to
Thank
run.
you, Mike, for allowing me to speak about it 3 years ago.
Well, it's perfect. It fits the theme of the show. It's about helping people live in a more decentralized fashion. So let me plug Above Phone one more time because, again, you are the sponsor. Your company, Hakeem, is a sponsor of our show. Today, we're going to be featuring your quantum Above Phone laptop for a long time to come, right there. I'll be running like AI queries during interviews, and we'll be sharing the screen.
Well, it's an honor to share that desk with you where you talk about such important subjects, both you and Todd, and have compute, which is it's all about creation and not consumption. So that's what our products are all about.
Yeah. So let me give out the URL where people can get similar systems, which is abovephone.com/Brighteon.
Exactly. Abovephone.com/Brighteon, $50 off with code Brighteon50. That'll be good for 2 weeks starting now. And if you have any questions,
Starting now.
use that chat button in the bottom right-hand corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a chat. Chat with us. Okay.
Those are humans
Those are humans?
for now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. That's the show today, everybody. And thank you, Todd, for all your time today. It's been fun.
As always.
As always. Have a great consultation. I know you have one coming up. And thank you, Hakeem, for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Thank you all for watching. Check out all the other episodes at decentralize.tv and get yourself your own Sarah Connor because this one's staying here. All right. Okay. Thanks for watching, folks. Take care.
Cheers.